Well, welcome back. Welcome back to the channel, guys. If you can't tell, I'm in a different room. I'm actually in my room recording in here. Usually I film out in the living room, but my little brother doesn't have school this entire week, and he is the loudest person I know, so I cannot film in the living room. And actually, I'm gonna lock my door so that he can't come in here either because he is loud. Anyways, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hello. If you're coming back, hey. I'm Mackenzie Janelle, if you don't know who I am, and if you didn't look at my channel. And I do movie stuff. So yeah, so today we're going to be doing another ranking list. My first ranking list I did was my Scream ranking list. So I decided, how about I do a fall movie? And canonically, Twilight is a fall movie. I don't know if you didn't know that, but now that you're coming here, you're talking to the queen of Twilight. I have all the books, and I say that Twilight, the entire series of Twilight, is a fall/winter series. We have all of the books, baby, all of them. Thank you to my mother for buying the original books. We have Midnight Sun, Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, Breaking Dawn, and the short little novella, The Short Second Life of Bree Tanner. I am a fan. Thumbnail. We will be ranking all the Twilight characters today. Not all of them, but the criteria that I used was if they had like top billing or whatever on IMDb for the cast, and if they had at least a character poster, because in Breaking Dawn Part 2, there's just so many different people. So I just did the criteria of if they had like a character poster or whatever. Less talking, and let's just get into the ranking list. These are my opinions. I have a complicated relationship with each of the characters, to be honest. But yeah, these are my opinions. If you don't like them, I don't care. If you do like them, then period, you have taste. So yes, let's get into the ranking video. So here we have my trusty laptop, my trusty MacBook that's kind of on its last legs because it's used and the battery's old. Anyway, so we have 5 different categories. And just to make sure that I don't forget anything, I also did a list of the character names just so I don't forget. So we're going to put this here, and we're just going to make sure that any characters I don't know, I'm going to just still scroll and just be like, look, that's their name. All right, so I have 5 different tiers. So first we have Bite Me Now, Vampire or Not, and those are the characters that I just love. Like, the characters that I just can't live without. And we'll probably know what's going to go up there, like who's going to go up there, but whatever. Then we have I Love You, Conditionally. These are the characters that I have a bit of a complicated relationship with because I very much like them, and I think I like them in the books, but there's certain things about them that I just kind of can't get behind. The best example of this would probably be like Jasper. He's probably going to go in I Love You Conditionally because I do love Jasper, but he was a Confederate soldier, and I just can't mesh with that. But then it's like that's not his fault because he was literally written that way. Anyways, third category is Thank You for Being Normal. And this does not mean that they're like normal in the sense of like not vampires and not werewolves, but humans. This is in the sense of thank you for not making me want to rip my hair out or scream at you and at what your character does. This is just someone who's cool. Just cool, like real cool. Next we have You Got a Credit in the Movie, I guess. These are the people that I just like, I don't even really know who you are, but you were in the movie, so good for you. And then last category is Not Even the Book Can Save You. And these are the characters that I just can't stand. They annoy me. The things that they do annoy me. I don't think many characters are going to go in here, except for a few. But when I say Not Even the Book Can Save You, it's that, like, I love the books. I love the Twilight books, and I love the Twilight movies. I see them as separate entities, to be honest, with completely different things going on in them. But, like, even you being in the book does not make me want to like you. That's for those characters. I don't think many characters are going to be in that. Without further ado, let's get it started. So, as you can see, the first character on this list is Edward Cullen. I put in all these photos randomly, by the way. So he is who just popped up first in my pictures. Edward Cullen, the 100-something-year-old virgin. And I guess maybe this video is due because Robert Pattinson is expecting child with his longtime girlfriend, Suki Waterhouse. So congratulations to them, I guess. Edward, I have a lot of feelings about Edward, to be honest. There's a lot of things he did that was really controlling and possessive and weird. But at the same time, Edward was always advocating for Bella to get a life, like a real life of her own. He was literally, he said, he literally was going, in the book at least, and I think they talked about it in the movie. What he wanted to do, his plan was not to turn Bella. It was not to marry her immediately out of high school, get her accidentally pregnant with his vampire human child, and then turn her into a vampire. That was not his plan at all. Edward's plan was, because Bella wanted to be turned immediately as soon as she met Edward. The span of like the Twilight series took place in at least like 6 months to a year. The entire series took place in like 6 months to a year. His plan was, I want you to go to college. I'll pay for it. I'll buy you a car. And you go to college, you experience life, and then maybe after college, once you've lived a little bit, once you've gotten the chance to really experience life as a human, then we'll talk about turning you. Bella said no. So I have to give Edward his props for that. And the fact that he did not play about Bella. Like, he did not play about her. He protected her regardless of the situation. Like, he did not play with her. So I think we all know where Edward is going. He is going in Bite Me Now. I love Edward. I love him truly and dearly, so he has to go there. Next, we have Billy Black, who is Jacob's dad. He's cool, to be honest. He didn't like Edward, obviously. He didn't like any of the Cullens because he just didn't like vampires because he was a wolf himself. So I can't be mad at him. And honestly, I don't think he really did anything like worthy of like annoying me or whatever. So I'm gonna say thank you for being normal. Like, he was a pretty okay dad. Next, we have the vampire Laurent. I don't even know what to say about him, to be honest. Like, he was in the first movie, and he was very much like against James in Victoria's whole plan of like tracking down Bella and like killing her or whatnot. He came back in New Moon, and he was like crazy. He literally was like, Victoria's gonna hunt you down, and she's gonna do some very, why is this not going down? She's going to do some very painful things to you, so I'm going to kill you as an act of kindness, of mercy, and then he got murdered himself. Honestly, I don't even know what to say to him because he wasn't normal, and it's not that I love Laurent, so I guess you got a credit in the movie, I guess. Laurent just doesn't really matter to me, to be honest. Next, we have my girl, Rosalie Hale. Rosalie is awesome, but there's a lot of things with her that kind of annoy me. If people don't know the story of how she was changed, she was in like the 1920s. She was engaged to like the most eligible bachelor in the city or whatever. And her fiance was drunk one night with some of his friends, and they ended up pretty much almost murdering Rosalie after doing some horrible things to her. So Carlisle found her, he saved her, and then he turned her. Rosalie, I think she's very complex of a character because she does not like her life, like as a vampire at all. She's one of those people, like, I think that she's grateful that Carlisle saved her, but at the same time, I think that if given the choice, and I think Rosalie even said this, if given the choice, Rosalie would have rather died than became a vampire. And I think the only thing that's really keeping her going is her love for Emmett. Like, I think that's the only thing that keeps her happy as a vampire. Her whole beef with Bella, because at first she was so mean to her, but the whole beef with Bella was pretty much, I know you want this life. I know you want to be a vampire like him, and it's not worth it. You don't age, you don't grow, you can't have kids, you can't get, like, you can't have a life anymore, a human life. I'm like, you're stuck, frozen. And really, Rosalie just didn't want that life for Bella because it wasn't a life that she would have wanted for herself. She's such a complex character, so I don't know if I want to say Bite Me Now because I'm pretty sure Rosalie doesn't want to turn people. But I'm going to say Bite Me Now because I really do love Rosalie. But of course, I put her behind Edward, sorry. Next, we have, let me consult my list because I don't know who that is, some character named Mary. She was in Breaking Dawn Part 2. And if you read the books, basically, after one of the characters spotted Bella and Edward's child, Rigatoni, resume, Renesmee is her name. One of the characters went and snitched to the Volturi. If you don't know who the Volturi is, I'm sorry, but you just like gotta catch up on Twilight. I can't explain everything in this video. Carlisle invited a whole bunch of his friends to kind of defend him and support his family before the Volturi and be like, no, they wouldn't do something like that. Mary is one of the characters. I don't know. I'm gonna put her at you got a credit in the movie, I guess, because I don't know who she is. Like, I have no idea who that character is, to be honest. They didn't get talked about a lot. But I put her there because she was actually in the book and the movie, so her character was like semi-important. Next, we have Leah Clearwater. It's easy to call her character bitter because her ex, who's a wolf, Leah is also a wolf. She didn't find out she was a wolf though until her dad died in New Moon. Her ex, who she was very much in love with, imprinted on another woman, and he just kind of left her because that's their chemistry. Like, they can't ignore imprinting on somebody. So it's easy to call her bitter because her man left her, but like, she's got a lot going on with her. Like, her dad died, she became a werewolf, and then her other werewolf boyfriend imprinted on another woman, meaning that he biologically could not stay with her. It was a lot going on for her, like a lot going on. And then it was kind of like they treated her differently. And I didn't like that. But as much as I like her, she's not like one of my favorite characters, to be honest. And she was like understandably really rude to Carlisle and them. I like Leah, but like at the same time, I don't love Leah because I mean, she's kind of just there, you know? So I'm gonna put her that I love you conditionally, but I'm gonna just say I love her. Not conditionally, but I love her, but she's not my favorite. Next we have, is that Paul? Yes, that's Paul. He's one of the werewolves. In New Moon, Bella slapped the mess out of him because she ain't understand what was going on. And that's how she found out about the werewolves. Paul, what can I even say about you, to be honest? I don't know. Like, he's kind of annoying, but also I didn't have no real beef. So I'm gonna just say thank you for being normal because he was annoying, yes, but like, I didn't have no real beef with Paul, to be honest. Next, we have my girl, the insecure queen. Attachment issues queen, mommy issues queen, Bella Swan. We have Bella. What can I say about Bella? Like, truly, what can I say about Bella? Unconditionally, irrevocably in love with him. Bella has some issues. She had some confidence issues, self-esteem issues, mommy issues, attachment issues. Any issue you can think of, she had, because this girl fell in love with Edward in a matter of days. And when he said, no, I don't want to be with you anymore, she consistently tried to herself. I mean, obviously, I don't think her aim wasn't to like actually die each time. It was to see her hallucination of Edward. But if a man got you going to the point where you have to put yourself in danger so that you can see him by hallucinating him, it's time to pack it up, babe. It's time to pack it up. She did not play about Edward. And can I blame her? Kind of, yeah. But I can blame that horrible mom of hers even more. Bella, I love you. I really do. I love her. She is one of my favorite characters. So she will be going up here, and she'll be going right behind Edward, because I love Edward. Like, next, we have Zafrina. She is one of the characters, part of like the clique in Breaking Dawn Part 2. She's one of those vampires who has really cool powers, and they showed it really good in the movie. I love Breaking Dawn Part 2. It's one of my favorite movies, actually. Zafrina can cause, like, she can make people see different things, kind of like a projection type of power. There's not much that I can say about her, to be honest, but I really do like her. Her and her sister was definitely giving me, like, Tyra Banks. I like her. She's normal, so I'm gonna put her at thank you for being normal because I like her. Next, and like I said, here it goes. Jasper Hale, part of the Cullen clan. Jasper, his backstory is a lot for me. It's always a lot for me. I never will understand why Stephanie Meyer had to put this in the book. Jasper was a Confederate soldier, one of the youngest, like, military, like, army, like, leaders. He was a major. in the Texas Army or something like that. So you know that he was not a good person. He was turned by a vampire named Maria, and Maria built her own army up using Jasper, who's an extremely talented vampire. He has the power of like emotional manipulation or whatever. I love Jasper. The one thing I can't get behind though is his Confederate past. That's the one thing I can't get behind. I hate that he was a Confederate because it just throws his character off. He's cute. Him and Alice are good together. And I mean, other than the little snafu in New Moon where he almost murdered Bella, he's a great guy. He's a great guy. So I'm gonna put him at Bite Me Now, even though I'm really angry at his past, but he's not a bad character presently. So we'll put him at Bite Me Now, and we're gonna put him actually in front of Rosalie, but behind Bella, because I love Bella. I really do. Next, we have my man. We have Carlisle Cullen, the man, the myth, the legend. Carlisle is the man who started it all. If there was no Carlisle, there would be no Edward, Rosalie, Emmett, Alice, or Jasper. Or Esme. I forgot about Esme. Carlisle I guess I forget what he did, but he was working with the Volturi like way back when, like maybe like 15th century or something. He left to go start his own life or whatever. He became a doctor, and in 1917 or something, which is when Edward got turned, or 1918, which is when Edward got turned, Edward had the Spanish flu. Carlisle came and turned him instead of letting him die. Why did he randomly choose him? I don't know. Maybe it's because Edward didn't have any more family members. I don't know. Because his mom and like sister or his mom or whatever also died from the Spanish flu. I don't know. Carlisle is awesome. His chemistry with Bella was incredible. His first look in this, like Peter Fasinelli's look as Carlisle Cullen in the first Twilight movie, that's a level of sexiness that cannot ever be reached again. And I'm so serious. If they ever decided to reboot Twilight, which I think they are trying to do, nobody is touching Peter Fasinelli as Carlisle in that first movie especially. We know where he's going. Now the shock that you may be about to experience right now is he's actually going in front of everybody in Bite Me Now. Yes, in front of Edward too. Carlisle, because I have problems with Edward. I have no problems with Carlisle at all. He saved a bunch of people. Did they want to be turned? I don't know. But it's not like he didn't give them incredible life. And he always rode for his kids. He said for Edward, look, we do not eat people. You know, humans are friends, not food. I would forgive you if you were to slip up and, eat Bella. Or I'd still love you regardless if you decided to turn Bella. He was always he was a real father figure to them. Especially to Edward. Edward is a little Carlisle. I love him. So he stays there at the top of the list. There is nobody that's going to unseat Carlisle. I'll tell you that now. Nobody's going to unseat Carlisle. Let's continue. Next we have, wait a minute. Next we have Alice Cullen. Alice Cullen, the love of my life. Her power is that she can see premonitions. Her story is really sad too. Mary Alice Brandon. She could see things happen before they happen. She had premonitions before she became a vampire or something. And she was sent to an asylum by her parents, but this groundskeeper dude took care of her until she saw James from the first movie who tried to kill Bella. James was tracking Alice and he was going to kill her until the groundskeeper dude turned her into a vampire and then just disappeared. Alice has been through it. She saw the Cullens before she met them and she found her way to them, and she saw Jasper before she went to the Cullens. So she just had to consistently find her way. She could always see her happy life right in front of her. She had to fight to get it. I love Alice. I love her so, so, so much. Do I love Alice more than I love Edward? I love Edward. I love Edward So I'll be putting her after Edward, actually. So Bella, you have to go third. I'm sorry, boo. But even Bella would tell you that she prefers Alice over herself. That's how bad her self-esteem is, and that's how much she loves Alice. Next, we have, what's his name again? Alistair. He's one of Carlisle's friends that came to help in Breaking Dawn Part 2. You know, he didn't even want to help, to be honest. I don't really like him, to be honest. He was very, like, cynical and kind of like, oh, picking a fight with the Volturi, you guys aren't going to win. Okay, so then what are you here for, Alistair? What are you here for? And there was no reason why he was around, to be honest. What can I say about him? Like, I don't even really like him, to be honest. You got a credit in the movie, I guess. But he'll go before Mary because I barely remember her name. I barely remember her, to be honest. Next, we have Amun. He was part of like the like Egyptian, I think they were supposed to be Egyptian, the Egyptian like tribe or whatever, in Breaking Dawn Part 2. He was also one of Carlisle's friends. He was cool. There's not much else I can say about him. So he'll go to Thank You for Being Normal, but he'll go after Zafrina because there's not much I can say about him. Next, we have my girl, Angela Weber, also played by Christian Serratos. And if you don't know who that is, she played Rosita in the Walking Dead series. I love her. I love Christian Serratos. Love her. And I love Angela even more. She's just like one of those characters that's just cool. Like, there was never a problem with her. Like, she always tried to make sure Bella felt included. She always tried to be a friend to Bella, went to her for advice. Like, they were genuinely friends. She went to her wedding, and she didn't, make any comments like, why is she marrying him out of high school? Like, she must be pregnant. Like, no, she didn't do any of those things. Actually, she stopped the person who said that. Like, Angela's genuinely just a cool person. I really do like her. I don't know if I want to put her in I Love You conditionally, because those are for people that's like really nuanced, that really like kind of grinded my gears, to be honest. But I'm gonna put her in Thank You for Being Normal because she was normal. But I'm gonna put her at the top of Thank You for Being Normal. Thank You for Being Normal, because I do like her a lot, but it's not conditionally. Like, she isn't a super complex, nuanced character, Next, we have Aro. What the heck can I say about Aro? I kind of can't stand him, but he's so petty and he's so dramatic that I have to give it to him, Like, I'm sorry, but like, in Breaking Dawn Part 2, when he ripped off Carlisle's head and kind of stood there and like laughed about it and smiled, like he knew he ate that. I'm sorry. Like, he caused the Cullens a world of trouble consistently, but he had a flair for the dramatic, and I relate to that. So I'm gonna put him in I Love You. Conditionally though, because I mean, come on, man. And he goes in right before Leah Clearwater. Next we have Marcus. I'm gonna be honest, his character, there's not much I can say about him, because most of the time Marcus did not even want to be there. Like, genuinely, he did not want to be there. I think what happened to him was that his partner or his mate or something was killed, so he kind of just spent the rest of his days being like miserable that he was alive. So in the vision in Breaking Dawn Part 2, when they kind of like, when they pretty much killed him, he was just like, finally, and I cannot be mad at him for that. So I'm gonna say Thank You for Being Normal, but he will be going at the end. He hated his life, and I felt bad for him. Next, we have Benjamin, played by the Rami Malek. He pretty much was like an earthbender. Not even that, he could just control all the elements, actually. So I guess, would he be the Avatar? I don't know. I've never seen the Avatar, but like, doesn't the person who control all the elements like become the Avatar or something? I don't know. His character was really cool, actually. In Breaking Dawn Part 2, in the imaginary fight when they were all fighting, I got mad at him though, because it was like he cracked a hole in the earth because they were losing. The vampires and the werewolves were losing to the Volturi. Cracked a hole in the earth, and then just like, we just had casualties on all sides. It was like, Benjamin, why would you do that? I don't know. I like him. I really do like him, actually. Benjamin was real cool. So I'm going to put him at I Love You conditionally. It's not that he was, like, not Thank You for Being Normal, because he had a little bit more flair to him, to be honest. But, like, so next we have my man. And if you're seeing a trend in the fact that I really like older people, Carlisle has to be at least 500 years old. Edward is about 100 something, and Charlie has to be in his 40s. Well, no, he had Bella pretty young, so he probably has to be in like his 30s actually, like late 30s, early 40s. Yeah, I like older guys. Charlie Swan, the man of my dreams. I love him. He didn't get a chance to really be a dad because Bella's mom just like took her. She was like, I don't want to be stuck here, so I'm taking my daughter and we're leaving. And actually, Charlie didn't have a chance to go because his parents or whatever were like dying or something like that. So he stayed in Forks. To be honest, I love Charlie. I love him a lot, and there's not a lot wrong with him, in my opinion. He really did just kind of love Bella, and he was supportive through all of the mess that she took him through. She suddenly, after saying she wasn't interested in any of the boys, she suddenly started dating Edward, the local doctor's son, started dating Edward, had a very intense relationship with him very quickly. All of a sudden, went to Arizona or whatever, fell through a window after trying to run away. This is, and I'm saying it in the events that Charlie knows, not what actually happened, but what Charlie's been told. All of a sudden, Bella left him all of a sudden after going out to a baseball game with Edward. She broke up with Edward, left, said some really mean words to her dad and was like, I don't want to end up stuck here like mom. Left, and then all of a sudden she ends up back in Arizona. Edward chases her. She all of a sudden falls through a window, breaks her leg, ends up back in the hospital, and then all of a sudden ends back up with Edward. That's the first movie. The first movie. Charlie's already on red alert because why did my daughter break up with you? And when she goes to Arizona, you go to get her back, and she all of a sudden falls through a window. Like, I guess you can explain that because Bella's really clumsy. But then we go into New Moon, the second movie, and all of a sudden, after her birthday that she celebrated with the Cullens and her boyfriend, all of a sudden after her birthday, the Cullens end up leaving. They just completely end up leaving town. And my daughter is lost in the forest. Someone has to go find her and bring her back. And for months on end, she has nightmares about this boy leaving her. All of a sudden, she runs away again. No, actually, she makes a friend again in Jacob. And she starts getting better until all of a sudden, she takes a car and she leaves. Only leaves a note. Leaves to somewhere that he does not know, and 3 days later comes back with Edward. What? What? And this is only the second movie, and Charlie just goes with the motions. He just goes through the motions. Then we have Breaking Dawn Part 1 and 2. Charlie still doesn't know what's going on, but all of a sudden, my 18-year-old daughter who just graduated high school is marrying her boyfriend, fresh out of high school. They go on a honeymoon together, and all of a sudden she comes back. Well, no, she doesn't even come back from the honeymoon because she contracts some horrible, deadly disease, and they send her to Switzerland to go heal, and then she comes back with a baby and looking completely different from when he last saw her. And then all of a sudden he finds out werewolves exist. I mean, what? And it's just like I would have a heart attack if I was Charlie, but he was always so supportive. And the random kid that my daughter and her teenage husband adopted grows 5 inches a day, and Charlie just goes along with it, and he says, whatever, bite me now, vampire or not. I'm gonna put him last, but that might change. Like, I love Charlie. Next we have Caius. He is also part of the Volturi. I don't really like him. He's a hater, to be honest. Not even the book can save him. I can't stand him. So he'll go to Not Even the Book Can Save You. I don't even want to talk about him. Like, he just sucks. Next, we have Carmen. She's part of one of the clans, the Denali clan or whatever, that's good friends with Carlisle. They even call them, like, their cousins or whatever from Denali. She's cool. I like her. She's pretty. Her body's teeth. So she can go and thank you for being normal. And she'll go before a moon because I know her a little bit better. Next, we have Dimitri. He was part of the Volturi. I can't remember if he had a power or not. I don't think he did. He was kind of annoying though, to be honest, but there's not much else I can say about him. I'll say you got a credit in the movie, I guess, but he'll go before Alistair and Mary because he was featured more prominently in it. Next, we have, oh my gosh, Mike Newton. He was the first boy to have a crush on Bella, and it kind of lasted for a while until he got Jessica as a consolation prize, to be honest. I'll be honest, like, he still was trying to get at her in New Moon and everything, almost got beat up by Jacob and all. He was an annoying high school boy that had a crush on the new girl and would not leave her alone. In Midnight Sun and Edward's perspective, like, he really was not feeling him. He was not feeling Mike, like, at all. And I love that. So I'm gonna say not even the book can save you because Mike, you're just so annoying, you know. But you go before Caius because I don't hate you as much as I hate Caius. Next we have Eleazar, who is also from the Denali clan. That's Carmen's man. That's my man too. Thank you for being normal. And he goes before them. Next we have my real man. I have a lot of men, a lot of them. Next we have Emmett Cullen, Mr. I eat like 6 eggs a day because that's what I imagine. And he used to carry a bag of eggs. He carried a bag of eggs to lunch in Twilight. This weirdo. He doesn't even eat, and he just decides to bring a bunch of eggs. He is Rosalie's mate. What happened with Emmett was that I forget when he lived, like what time period he was in, but he was taking care of like his family, his mother and his siblings, and he went out or something, and a bear got to him, tore him up. But Rosalie, or I think Rosalie smelled him and Carlisle saved him or whatever. I love Emmett. He's the best big brother to Bella ever. He's the best big brother. I mean, he's the best brother in general. In Midnight Sun, when Edward was so worried about whether he wanted to kill Bella or not, Emmett didn't care either way. He wasn't like, no, Edward, you're better than that. You don't have to kill her, yada, yada, yada. He was like, if you eat her, so be it. We'll just have to move to a different town. Whatever. If you don't eat her, well then, I mean, who cares? At the end of the day, like, dog, like, just do you. So I have to put him at Bite Me Now. How much do I like him, though? We're going to go ahead and we're going to put Emmett before Rosalie. Next, we have Embry, which was one of Jacob's friends. He was really hot. I'll give him that. He was kind of funny. But other than that, there's not much else I can give him. So thank you for being normal. But you will be going before Paul, actually. Next, we have my girl, Esme Cullen, and Elizabeth Reeser. Love, love, love Elizabeth Reeser. But this look in the first movie with this golden brown hair, that is her look. I've seen her in a ton of Mike Flanagan stuff after this. She's never looked better than this first movie. That golden brown hair is perfect on her. That was the best look for Esme. I don't know why they made her hair darker. They should have just kept giving her a cute wig like this. This is my girl. I really do love her. Carlisle saved her after I think she like lost her baby or something and she tried to like off herself, but Carlisle saved her. And she was like obsessed with him. Like she really wanted him, like a lot. I'm gonna put her at Bite Me Now, but she'll go after everybody because I like Esme, but like I can't do too much with her. Next we have, what's his name? Sam Yulee. Sam Yulee he was pretty much the leader of the Quiute tribe, I believe, or the Quiute pack. We're first introduced to him in New Moon after Edward breaks up with Bella and she stays running around in the woods like a fool. We don't really know no one knows how to help her, but Sam Yulee finds her. I like him. I really do like him, and he's pretty normal. There's a couple of things that I don't like about him other than, mostly because it wasn't his choice, but like the way he did Leah was just kind of annoying, you know? He's normal. He's pretty normal. I'm gonna put him before Paul, but after Embry, because I'm gonna put him before Embry actually, because Sam just had a little bit more to do. Next, we have Felix. Felix is also part of the Volturi. I don't think he has any special powers other than the fact that he's just a really good fighter. He tore Edward up in New Moon. I mean, he cracked his marble. And to be honest, I mean, that's all I can say about him. So I'm gonna say you got a credit in the movie, I guess, but he's gonna go before Laurent. So next we have Garrett, played by Lee Pace. Such a good-looking man, and such a tall man, too. He was one of Carlisle's friends who came to help him in Breaking Dawn Part 2, And he even got him a little girlfriend out of the whole ordeal. Period. Garrett, period. I liked him a lot. His character was like really, really cool, to be honest. There's not much I can say though about him. So thank you for being normal, Garrett. But you will be going before. He'll go before Billy. Yeah, he'll go before Billy, but after Angela, because I really like Angela, and she's bordering on I love you. Actually, we're gonna change it now. Angela, she'll be going to I love you, but there's really no conditions on how much I love her. So next we have Nahuel, who was the vampire human hybrid that basically was like Renesmee, and he had grew to a full human, and then he stopped aging, and he was like, I eat food, I eat blood, basically proving that he's not any harm. Like, children like him and Renesmee are not any harm. He was fine. I did not know that he was played by what's his name, JC or something Pardo. He was in Mayans. He's a really good looking guy, to be honest. There's not much I can say about him. So he'll go after everybody because he really didn't have a character. Actually, he'll go after Amun. Yeah, I'll give him that. Next, we have the biggest rat out of everybody, Irina, part of the Denali clan. She snitched to the Volturi on the Cullens, and basically her whole idea, because once she saw Renesmee, she was like, oh my god, they made an immortal child, which basically is just a vampire who stays a kid forever. And they're very dangerous because they have no impulse control and they never learn any impulse control because they stay children forever. Snitch. And she was even more mad at the Cullens because she believed that they killed Laurent even though Laurent was peaceful and wanted to live with humans, which is not true. Laurent tried to murder Bella and he got killed by some werewolves for it. That's his fault, not anybody else's. She's a snitch. I don't like her. Not even the book can save you, Irina. And you go in front of Mike because Mike didn't do all that. Next we have this guy. I'll be honest, I don't think anybody could have played Jacob Black the way Taylor Lautner did. If we had gotten a real Native American though, I probably would have liked him more. I can't stand Jacob. I can't. I honestly can't stand him. Like, part of me feels bad for him because like he really was in love with Bella and like he just consistently lost all the time because she loved Edward. And he should have known that because she said it a million times. She literally said, don't make me choose because it will be him. And he said, no, choose. And the whole thing in Eclipse, in Eclipse when they had the big fight, and he was like, I'm about to go out there, I'm gonna go get myself killed by some other vampires. And she's like, no, what do I have to do to make you not go fight? And he's like, you gotta kiss me, and you gotta mean it. And it's like, dude, you're gonna blackmail her. She's in fear for your life, for your safety. And your whole thing is, well, actually, you need to kiss me if you don't want me to go die. And it's like, oh. And let's not even talk about the fact that he kissed her without her consent, continuously tried to keep her away from Edward. Edward did it a few times now, but it wasn't in the same vein as Jacob. Like, Jacob annoys me. But, in the second movie, he was so good to Bella. He was so good to her. So I have to put him at I love him conditionally. And he'll go to the front because I do love Jacob, but there's a lot about him that I don't like. Next, we have my girl, Dakota Fanning, the older sister, Jane. Her powers was that she could just make people feel pain just by looking at them, which I thought was a pretty cool power. But after she helped kill Jasper, in Breaking Dawn Part 2, the fake fight when she helped kill Jasper, I was so happy when Alice came and ripped her head clean off. Or at least when she helped kill her. I don't like Jane, to be honest. I can't lie. Her powers was cool. She was a menace, and I gotta put her at I love you conditionally for that. You'll be going before them, though, because you have more. Now we have Jessica Stanley, my girl Anna Kendrick, the biggest hater in the world. I mean, skip the vampires. Jessica was Bella's biggest op, bro. Like, she got mad. I mean, even when they first met each other, dudes is going crazy over Bella. They're messing with her, and she's like, "Oh my god!" It's like second grade all over again and you're the shiny new toy. Who are you talking about? And then when Bella's like, oh, who are all of they? Talking about the Cullens. And she's like, ooh, who's that guy? And she's like, Edward Cullen, you know, like hottest guy in the school, but apparently nobody here is good enough for him. But I don't even like care. And of course, Bella got her eyes on him. Edward's fine. And she's like, don't waste your time. First of all, just because Edward doesn't want any of y'all in this school, don't mean that I can't try my hand at getting him. And guess what? She got him. She got him. So, now what, Jessica? She's an op. And not even the book can save her. But I put her further up because I like her a bit more than Mike. Next we have Kate, part of the Denali clan as well. Irina's sister, they are all blonde. Her and Garrett, Lee Pace's character, get together, and it's actually so cute. And I really like her. I really do like her. And she helped Bella in Breaking Dawn Part 2 learn her powers. So I like her. I like her a lot, to be honest. So I love her. No, I like her. But I'm gonna put her where am I put her? After Billy Black. Yeah. Next we have this girl named Kebby, which I think was like a Moon's partner or whatever. There's not much I know about her, so I'm gonna have to say you got a credit in the movie, I guess. And we're gonna put her like after Alistair. Next we have Liam. He was part of like the Irish vampires who helped he helped Carlisle in Breaking Dawn Part 2. There's not much I know about him, so you got a part in the movie, I guess, but I remember him a little bit more than this other girl. Then we have his like daughter Maggie or whatever. Again, I don't know who she is, so you got a credit in the movie, I guess, Maggie. Now we have Quill Latera, who was one of Jacob's friends. He's cool, to be honest. There's not much else I can say about him. He was kind of funny, but that's all I can say about him. So he'll be going he'll be going after Paul, actually. Now we have Jared, who is also, he was in the Quiute tribe or whatever, but again, there's not much I can say about him, to be honest. So you can also go right after, no, he'll go after Zafrina. Next, we have Emily Young, who is Sam Yuli's mate. He imprinted on her, and she got too close and he was angry. He accidentally shifted into his werewolf form and just scratched her face all the way up. But she still loves him. And I guess she's kind of real for that, I guess. I like her. I like Emily a lot, to be honest. And I like that she tried to give Bella advice on being with Jacob, even though Jacob was not the guy for her. But that's all I can really say about her. She's cool. So thank you for being normal, Emily. And you can go right by your man, Sam. Next, we have Eric Yorkie, who was one of Bella's friends. And him and Angela got together. I think that's not what happened in the book. Eric was okay. So thank you for being normal, Eric. And you can go by Billy, to be honest. I think Billy's just going to keep that second spot, to be honest. Next, we have this bum, Renee Dwyer, Bella's mom. This has to be the worst mother ever. I mean, Bella had to literally take care of her own mother. And she called her scatterbrained and erratic. And I mean, she's just not a good mom, to be honest. She's not a good mom. Bella, even though she liked living in Phoenix, her mom was so ready to go travel the states with her minor league baseball boyfriend or husband, Phil, that she really didn't even care too much about Bella. Like, she basically was like, Bella made the executive decision to go live with her dad while her mom lived out her dreams with her man. And it's kind of like, your daughter shouldn't have to give that up for you. I don't like her, and not even the book can save her, to be honest. More than all of these people, I just don't like her mom. Her mom sucks. Horrible mother. Oh, and not even the fact that when she was in Forks with Charlie and they first got together, they were both really, really young. But Charlie had made the decision to stay and take care of his sick parents. And Renee's whole thing was, I don't want to be trapped here and stuck here, so I'm going to take my daughter, our daughter, and just leave. While he had sick and dying parents to take care of. Like, she sucks. She sucks. Next, we have Renesmee, also known as Resume Rigatoni Ravioli by a lot of people in the Twilight fandom. Renesmee is the child of Bella and Edward. Still don't know how it happens because I thought that the vampires in Twilight were made of venom and that's all they had. So I don't understand how that venom impregnated Bella. Renesmee, she's cool. I love her conditionally, to be honest, because she really didn't do nothing wrong. She hasn't done anything wrong. I hate the fact that Jacob imprinted on her. Yeah, Jacob Black, the guy who had a crush, who was in love, not had a crush, was in love with Bella, imprinted on her daughter as soon as she had her. Bella was in the other room dead, and Jacob was about to murder Renesmee until he saw her and imprinted on her, which means that when Renesmee is of age and she stops aging, because Jacob can choose, he can choose to stop aging, they are going to be together, even though he was in love with her mom. And oh my god, Jacob. And then Jacob, he goes, see, like when in Breaking Dawn Part 2, when Bella finds all of this out and she's rightfully angry because you imprinted on my daughter? What the heck? And he says, remember how like I wanted to be, or how you always wanted to be around me during your pregnancy? You don't want to be around me anymore. She's like, no. And he's like, that was Renesmee the whole time. No, not Renesmee. He was like, it was Nessie that wanted to be near me. The egg that was in your womb while you were the baby, the fetus that you were carrying while you were pregnant, actually was the reason you wanted to be around me, because she wanted to be around me because the baby inside of you was in love with me. What? What? Renesmee. Girl, you got it cut out for you. I love her conditionally, I do. And honestly, Jacob, you might have to get taken down a peg. You might have to get taken down a peg, Jacob. Because, oh my god. But you know what? First half of Jacob Black is like, love you. Second half is like, Jesus Christ. We'll put her, I don't want to put them next to each other. I hate that I put them next to each other, but I'm going to have to. Next, we have Riley Byers, or Beers. He was in Eclipse. Eclipse is my favorite Twilight, personally. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but the storyline in that was just so good to me. Riley, he was unfortunately a victim of Victoria's, who manipulated him into creating a whole army of vampires to go after her. And in the midst of battle, he realized Victoria did not care that much about him. She cared about getting to Bella. He's okay, to be honest, and I actually really love him. Also because he's just really good looking. So I'll put him here before Benjamin. So next we have Victoria 2.0. So if you haven't watched the Twilight movies, Rachel LaFarge, I think that's how you say her last name, was the Victoria. I don't know what happened in between the second. I don't know what happened in the second movie. She was also somewhat in the second movie. So I don't know what happened in between the second and the third movie. But Rachel LaFarge was not able to do the third Twilight movie, Eclipse. So they replaced her with Bryce Dallas Howard. Bryce Dallas Howard was a pretty okay Victoria, but I would have loved to see Rachel LaFarge Victoria become completely feral in Eclipse. So Victoria 2.0, what can I say about her? She wasn't normal. She was crazy. Not even the book can save her, to be honest. Like, I just couldn't stand her, to be honest. I put her here because I didn't like her. Next we have Seth Clearwater, played by Mr. Boo Boo Stewart. Seth Clearwater is the sweetest boy in the world, and for that, there's nothing else that I have to say about him. I love him completely. I love him more than, no, I don't love him that much. I love him that much. And honestly, I'm going to put Angela here before Aro. So now we have Senna, which is Zafrina's sister. So thank you for being normal. I'm going to put them next to each other, but I like Zafrina's power better. Next, we have Siobhan. For the longest time, I thought that name was Siobhan until someone had pronounced it, and I was like, oh, that's Siobhan. Okay. She's cool. You got a credit in the movie. I'm going to put you by your man and your daughter, right in the middle, smack dab in the middle there. Next, we have Stefan. He's from, he was part of the, Romani, I guess. I think that's where they were, Romania. They wanted a fight with the Volturi in Breaking Dawn Part 2 because of what they did to them. He's okay. You got a credit in the movie, dude, I guess. But he'll go above them. Next, we have Sue Clearwater, a baddie, to be honest. I don't know what she was doing with Harry Clearwater because that man was old. Sue Clearwater, I believe, was Harry Clearwater's widow. I didn't put Harry in there because he wasn't that important. He died in New Moon. He had a heart attack after seeing Victoria. But Sue's more important because Billy and Charlie were actually kind of fighting over Sue for a little bit. But of course, Charlie won out because that's a man right there. Love Charlie. Sue's cool. So thank you for being normal, Sue. And you'll actually go up here. I liked her. She wasn't that important, but I liked her. So she'll go by Eric. Yeah. Next we have Tanya from the Denali clan, Kate and Irina's sister. I liked her. She was pretty good looking. So thank you for being normal, and you can go by your sister. Kate had a little bit more to do though. And now we have James, the hunter, the tracker James in the first movie, who really wanted Bella. Like, he was excited to get at her. Cam Gigande looked really good in this movie, to be honest. There's not much else I can say about her, though. I mean, about him, though. I mean, he got what was coming to him at the end of the movie, which made Victoria really mad. I love him with conditions because he actually, like, that scene with him and Bella in her old ballet studio, where in the mirrors and everything, like, he had a flair for the dramatics. So, I love him. I love him. How much do I love him? That much. About that much. Next, we have Tia, who I think was Benjamin's, like, girlfriend or something. I don't really remember her, so she goes here. You got a credit in the movie, but she'll go, like, right here in between Stefan and that lady. I forgot her name, see? Next, we have Peter, who was part of a clan that was really good friends with Carlisle. Don't really remember him, though, so you can go ahead and go to, you got a credit in the movie, I guess, and he'll go right here. And then his girlfriend, Charlotte. Again, don't remember her, so you can go right by your man. So we have Victoria 1.0, played by Rachel LaFarge, and I love her. I do love her. She was feral and she was nasty and she could fight. Well, not really. She was a runner. But still, she'll go like right here by James. Next, we have Alec. That was James' brother. He had some weird powers. He could like make people like not be able to see or whatever. He was cool. He wasn't normal, to be honest, but I also didn't love him. So you got a credit in the movie, dude. I meant to put him here before Dimitri, and Felix can go behind Alec, actually. Laurent can still be there. Now we have Tyler. Tyler, who almost hit Bella with his car, almost murdered that girl before Edward saved her. I don't think he was really messing with Bella for real. It was just kind of it's kind of just to mess with her. She was the new girl, whatever. I liked him. He was pretty normal, to be honest. So he'll go by Eric. This thank you for being normal section is really just based on vibes. Now we have Vladimir, played by Noel Gallagher, aka Mickey in Shameless. Once I figured that out, I was very excited because I liked him a lot. He was kind of normal, but I also kind of love him. So he'll be going on the list, but he'll be going like, he'll go last. Yeah, he'll go last on the list. And lastly, we have Huelin, however you say that. So in Breaking Dawn Part 2, when Nahuel came and he's like, my mother slept, I don't know if she slept with him or something more non-consensual happened. Something happened and with a vampire, and he was born and his mother died in the process. Thank God Bella survived because that's not normal. His mother died in the process, so his auntie raised him, Huelin, or however you say that, Huelin. He stopped aging and he decided to make his auntie a vampire so that they could live forever. I like her, honestly, so she can go by her nephew. And that is the tier list, guys. So in Bite Me Now, we have Carlisle. I think I want to stick with that. Edward, Alice, Bella, Jasper, Emmett, Rosalie, Charlie, and Esme. I think I want to stick with that. I love all of them. And it does not escape me the fact that there's only one person who is a non-vampire on that list. So I think I knew where we were going with this video all along. And I love you conditionally. I think this is fine. The last half of it, I don't know. But Jacob has a lot of conditions on him. And so does Renesmee. Seth and Angela, I think those are great places. The thank you for being normal. I'll be honest, I'm going to actually just put Billy here because he was normal. I'm going to put him at the top. The rest of that list, I don't care. You got a credit in the movie, I guess. Again, I don't care. And not even the book can save you. Yeah. These characters I honestly can't stand, to be honest. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with this list. I'm actually very happy about this list. That'll do it, and maybe my laptop will stop huffing and puffing now that I've closed it. So yes, that was the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. That is my tier ranking list for all my Twilight characters. Not every single one of them, because I'm not going to do every single one of them, because not every single one of them is important. But those are the more important characters with a few extras that I added in. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you like these ranking videos, go ahead, leave a like, stuff like that or whatnot. Comment down below if you like my list. Maybe if you would change it. I don't know. Do you even like Twilight? I don't know. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, because I make videos like this all the time, or as much as I can. And happy Thanksgiving, guys, because I'm pretty sure I'll be posting this tomorrow on Thanksgiving. So, yes, I will see you guys in the next video, and bye.